Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Parker's Tutorials. Today I'm showing you how to build a piece of equipment that every filmmaker should have. And that would be a camera dolly. So let's get started. Here's what you're going to need for this project. A tripod with a removable head, 2 painter's sticks, 1 2x4 that is 16 inches or longer, 1 board of wood 8 inches wide that is longer than 10 inches, a long piece of 1.5 inch angle aluminum, a tape measure, 8 skate wheels, 2 carriage bolts, 8 hex bolts, 8 lock washers, 36 regular washers, 20 nuts, black paint that is not water-based, a Dremel, a hacksaw, a drill, and that's about it. Now before we start, I want to give a little bit of word of warning. This project is a little bit difficult, so I tried to word it as best I could, but if you're confused about anything, feel free to contact me and ask me any questions you have. The basic structure of the dolly is like this. The 2 tracks with 4 wheels on each will be connected to a platform with a tripod head. This dolly will slide across some tracks. The first step of this project is to take your 8-inch wide board of wood and using a measuring tape, mark a section that is 10 inches long, and then cut the board to that length. This will be the camera platform. Use a ruler to mark the center of the camera platform. Next, we're going to create the 2 wheel apparatuses. Get your 1.5 inch angle aluminum and using a ruler, mark 2 9-inch sections. Cut both of these pieces with a hacksaw. The wheels will be arranged in a staggered pattern to create a comfortable distance between them. Basically, you're going to drill 1 on each side, 1.5 inch in and 1 inch in. Mark halfway up these lines, approximately 3/4 inches. I drilled all the holes in the aluminum angle, starting with a small drill bit and working my way up to 1/4 inch. Mark your angle aluminum halfway on the outside corner and then use a sanding bit to flatten the middle of the corner. Starting with a tiny drill bit, I drilled a hole at the halfway point, and I stepped up to larger sizes until it was 1/4 inch, same as before. I then sanded the sharp edges and holes with sandpaper. Now we're going to put the wheels on the chassis. To make your wheel assembly, take your hex bolt and put on a washer. Then your skate wheel with the outside facing down. Then another washer. Then screw on a nut, and then another washer. Now take the hex bolt and put it through the outside of the angle aluminum. Put a washer, a lock washer, and finally another nut. Tighten it up so it doesn't come loose. I did this 7 other times until I was finished with both of the wheel pieces. Next, get your camera platform and use the holes in the middle of the angle aluminum as a guide to mark where to drill holes in the bottom of the platform. I drilled a 1/4 inch hole at the mark. I used a ruler to make a guide to the other side and drilled a 1/4 inch hole there as well. Use your carriage bolts to attach the wheel pieces to the bottom of the platform. I used a large washer and a nut to secure these. After that, it should look like this. Next, we're going to make the tracks. Take your 2x4 and cut 2 8-inch sections. I laid them out on my workbench and put my 2 painting sticks on top. Rest the camera platform on top of the tracks to determine how far the tracks should be apart. I drilled holes in the painting sticks and secured them to the 2x4 pieces using long nuts, some bolts, and some washers. I did this to both sides of the track. After that, test to see if your dolly runs smoothly along the tracks. If all of the wheels are spinning, you're good to go. If not, you may need to adjust the wheel pieces. Next, we're going to bore out the center of the camera platform to create a 1-inch hole. This is where the tripod head will be connected. I disassembled the track and used a hacksaw to remove the handles and threads from the painting sticks. I took the 2x4 pieces and the camera platform with the wheel pieces removed and painted all of the parts. I used a non-water-based paint so it wouldn't run if it got wet. After the paint was completely dry, I reassembled the track and dolly. After that, you're done. Alright everyone, thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of Parker's Tutorials. If you liked the video, make sure to share it with your filmmaking friends and subscribe to my channel for weekly episodes. Alright guys, I will see you next week with a brand new episode. Bye!